Good morning, how are you doing? Welcome to Audrey's Southern Cooking. My name is Nita. Today we're gonna do an experiment. Today we are gonna make a caramel buttercream cake. Well, we're gonna make it's just a yellow cake. I just bought a box. Just go to the grocery store and buy a box cake, it's fine. I'm not trying to get into making a cake today. So you'll make your cake, let it cool. What I've done, we're gonna try to do a 12-layer cake. So what I've done is I've went ahead and I baked 2 pans and I cut those into 3 sections. So that gives me 6 layers of something similar. They're not all this pretty. And that's not gorgeous, but you know, it's my first attempt. So I think I did really well. And so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some buttercream on each layer, and then we're gonna add a layer. So you can see here's the rest of my cake. And some of it, of course, I'm not a good slicer. As you can see, this one side's a little thin on this side, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially on your first try. And if you're doing this for family for Christmas or for whatever reason you want to do it for, it's fine, trust me. So I did test a little bit, put a little bit of icing on here. And what we may do is make some caramel and drizzle over the top. I also have extra cake over here. So what I want to do with it is I might put this buttercream icing in here, make cake balls. I might try some with the sticks, make pops, and some I may just do balls. And if everything works out right, we're gonna drizzle, we're actually gonna dip that into some caramel and then see how that does. Whew. I know, it sounds like a lot. Well, we're gonna give it a go. All right, so let's move the camera down. All right, as you see, let me move the camera a little bit better. There you go. All right, as you see, I've got some tools here. And now, I know for a fact I don't have enough buttercream to really make this gorgeous. And excuse me, but I have a turntable underneath, but I couldn't find the right size of the cardboard pieces, so it's a little large. It's gonna be all right. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna try something here. A little trusty scraper here. No, it's not the fancy one, but it's gonna be all right. So I'm just gonna try to smooth it around a little bit. You want to try to get this to the edges so that when you cut your cake, you know, you're gonna have some filling, because we're using this icing as a filling. And this is just really all we're gonna do. We're just gonna layer it like this. I wanna make sure I got all my little naked spots covered. Then, we're grabbing another layer carefully and just laying that on top. Now, what you should really do is have like a cheesecake pan, the one with the ring on it, so that you can lock it down, lay your cake in it, and that way you can fill it with your icing better. And then you just stack your cake, icing, and you do that. Once you get it full, then you would pop open that ring, remove the ring, and there you have one layer. Then you do a second layer, and then you just put that whole stack on top. But I do not have a cheesecake ring. So in case you do not have one, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm just gonna kind of spread it a little bit, and then we're gonna use that scraper, which actually worked pretty good. I do think though that the cheesecake pan would work better. and probably a actual really knife. This is a cutter knife that I cut the cake with. But I may try to flip it over and use the smoother side to spread this icing a little bit. And this is all I'm gonna do. And then once I get icing on here, then we're just gonna put another layer and keep going until we run out of cake, and hopefully cake before we do icing.
So what I will do is leave you with that.
Last layer on, well, not the last layer, one more layer there. And we're gonna ice this, and I'm gonna keep going. I have 3 more to go after this. So we'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so I finished it. No, it's not pretty, but it is 12 layers. So what I'm gonna do is, when I make my caramel icing, is we're just gonna coat this whole cake, and you're not gonna be able to see just how ugly it looks. I'm picking it up here, look at this. But you know what? This is gonna be gorgeous when we cut it. I can't wait to cut it. I never said I was a cake decorator, but I sure am gonna try to learn. Okay, welcome to the stove. I'm gonna turn this on about a medium heat. And we're gonna put a half of a cup of sugar in here. So I'm using a 1/4 of a cup measuring. Okay, so what we're gonna do, and like I said, I have this over about a medium heat. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is just, with a 1/2 a cup of sugar, you're just gonna kind of keep stirring it. It's gonna melt and it's gonna turn a little bit brown. And then we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients I have sitting over here. It's a golden color. Look at that beautiful color. So now we're just gonna mix in everything else. So we've got another 2½ cups, so a total of 3 cups of sugar. Then we're gonna have our milk, 3/4 cup of milk. And yes, it's gonna get gunky, it's all right. Our 1 beaten egg. We're gonna add a stick of butter. And I've let this sit out and get room temperature. And then we're just gonna, a pinch of salt. We're just gonna keep stirring it around and mixing it. And this other sugar it's seized up, yes, but it will unseize the longer we stir it. All right, we'll be back. All right, so I've been cooking this for probably close to about 10 minutes. It does take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. I have my candy thermometer in here, and right now it's right at 225, and it needs to be 230. I know you were a little worried about all the seized sugar, but as you see, it's all melted. And we are just stirring it, trying not to get it to stick on the bottom, because if I leave it for more than 30 seconds or so, it seems to start sticking. So I just kind of stir it and make sure you get in the crevices of your pot, right at the very bottom. You don't want anything burning, and whew, that would be nasty. If you've never had burnt caramel, you don't want any. So we are right above it, right about 226. So once this reaches 230, we'll come back, but we're almost there. Almost there. We'll be right back. All right, so I am right at 230. I'm going to turn this off. We're going to stir this, let this get spreading consistency, let it cool just a couple minutes. I'm getting my cheese balls out. I'm sorry, my cake balls out. And we are gonna do that and ice the cake all at one time. All right, I will see you in a few more minutes back over at the counter. All right, let's move our camera. Now you see a little hole. I know, I cut a little hole in the top, but then all I did was take my knife. I just stuck it in, made a cross, and then just kind of turned it. Because what I want to do, you see this is starting to get like a film on it where it's starting to crust over. While this is still hot, hopefully it's not too hot. I just wanted to pour some down in that hole to go inside that cake. Y'all, that's gonna be so good. So the one in the bowl, it didn't set up hard, so I don't know if this is gonna set up real hard. But, here we go. Ready? Starting with the high end of the cake. Can you see it? Kind of blocking the light here. The cake being kind of cool, it should set it up pretty quick. And even that's not gonna hide all the beautimous cake that I made. I'm just kind of pushing this around. I still have some more icing, but see this, what I would have loved to have had? I would love to have had enough icing and my cake be actually flat. So this is gonna be a practice. This would have been gorgeous, just like this. Do you see this right here? Do you see how that caramel, that's what I was looking for. That would have been absolutely gorgeous on this cake. I'm just gonna kind of pour this around so it will, if you can see this over here, I kind of want this to go over that edge too. And I'm gonna make another one of these, but the next one is gonna be gorgeous. I'm just gonna kind of smear this around a little bit. Uh-oh, little pieces of my cake are coming apart, but that's okay. I'm gonna let this sit a little bit. I'm gonna put my caramel into maybe a little mold or something and let that get hard up. And then we're gonna come back and cut this cake. All right, welcome back to the counter. So what I wound up doing was with the extra caramel, because normally you would put that between the layers of the cake and then all over the cake. Since I didn't do that, I had buttercream on there. This may or may not be a good idea. We're gonna see. What I did is I put some in a mold. Let's take a look at those real quick. All right, so these are not set up yet, but I put them in a mold. I don't know if you can see the bottom, but they look kind of like roses. So what I did was a couple of them, I put some pecans in. These 2 rows, I put pecans and then covered them. That's just filled up to the top. These are kind of halfway. What I was thinking with these, with the ones that are just halfway, that I could do my chocolate in this mold, like what you do, and then I might use these half ones in the chocolate. That way you put those in there and you cover them with chocolate. That was gonna be good. So we're gonna put this back in the fridge. All right, let's look at the cake. So the icing is still a little tacky. See, it's a little tacky, but we're gonna go ahead and cut it. So what I have, you still see my hole, so I think next time I'm not gonna do the hole. It sounded like a really good idea, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to. We're just gonna cut a small piece, but I'm gonna start at that hole. I'm so excited about this. You ready to see it? Got my little bowl here just in case we have an accident. You ready? Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Look at that. Oops, sorry. Okay, I'm excited. I mean, it's beautiful. If it'd been cut even, because as you can see, some of this layer here is way thicker. It kind of bows out. Hey, but you know what? I think I did pretty good for a first attempt. So it's still going to be delicious. Let's try it. I'm so excited. This right here is a caramel buttercream. I think that in itself would be enough. It's so good. It's still beautiful. All right, now that's got your caramel icing on the top. Oh my gosh. Wow. That does add a lot of pop to it. I'm not gonna lie, that adds a pop to it. It's pretty sweet with all the sugar in it. So you will only want, it's really rich. You're only gonna want this thin, maybe thinner than that slice. But it's delicious. Hey, but this was all a learning experiment. We had fun. I don't know about if you had fun, but I had a blast. This was delicious to make, fun to do. If you're good at slicing cake, more power to you. Praise you. You are awesome. That's the only thing I see that I really need to work on, and letting my caramel cool just a little bit more. Oh, but it's so good. So I appreciate you being here with me today and watching this video and playing with me and seeing if this is going to work or not. I think the concept is great. We're going to work on it, and I'm going to come back one day and blow your mind with it. I'm going to say, look what I can do now. But I want y'all to try this at home, and I'm going to link another buttercream recipe from another YouTuber that I adore, is Preppy Kitchen. And this is actually the one I use from him. But I'm gonna put his link in there too. Be sure to look at his videos and see what you think about those as well. And don't forget to support my channel. I really appreciate that. And go ahead, it's Venmo and PayPal. They'll be down the bottom. And a special shout out to my sister Phyllis. This is her caramel icing. This would be great for Christmas. All right, thank y'all for watching again. I will see y'all in the next video, and stay tuned because we will have some cheese balls we're gonna make for Christmas. We're gonna have some cookies, have maybe some snickerdoodles. That's gonna be coming up soon. So watch these videos. Don't forget to subscribe, support, and share your videos. And don't forget to share, support me, help my channel, and I'll give you a shout out, just like I did my sister Phyllis. Thanks again, Phyllis. I appreciate you so much. So y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video.